Welcome back. I'm Matt Wyman.
And I'm Matt Romeo.
And this is
Between Two Matts.
Let's see. We were just talking about how shitty M. Night Shyamalan is.
Yeah.
And as much as I hate him, I feel like if we just stop talking about him, maybe he'll go away.
Maybe if we just ignore his movies and ignore him, he'll just go away.
Yeah.
But
everyone, don't see another M. Night Shyamalan movie ever again.
It's a trap.
It is a complete and utter trap.
All right, but speaking of the opposite of horrible movies, you want to talk about our favorite classic action movie or recent action movie?
Like straight up 110% muscles, guns, and girls with big boobs.
Big boobs, blood. Real, not digital blood, where it's like digital squibs, shit like that. Real, like corn syrup and red dye.
Like fucking oozing all over the place.
Spraying everywhere, fucking, yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about those.
Yeah, that sounds good. I think you and I have joined the general consensus that our favorite classic action movie of all time.
It's Predator.
Predator.
You can't beat it. You got Jesse the Body Ventura.
Arnold motherfucking Schwarzenegger.
Back when he was like prime cock diesel. Arnold Schwarzenegger, whose muscles are so big they look just like tumors all over his body. It's scary, man.
It's not a tumor.
It's not a tumor. These are my arms.
We have what's his name? Rocky Balboa's coach.
Apollo Creed. I can't remember his name.
Yeah,
he's in it and he's huge too.
Yeah. There's like only two small guys in it, but even they're like really cut.
They're really cut too. And so the basic storyline is that they're going into I think Guatemala or something. And they're getting POWs, right?
It's like Colombia or something.
And they're getting POWs, right?
Yeah, prisoners of war.
And I think they're mercenaries.
Yeah, basically they're mercenaries. Well, yeah, they're special forces.
Okay, so they're special forces. They're the best of the best, the biggest, the toughest, the baddest. And they go into I think to save this village.
Well, no, they go in to save an ambassador or something.
Right.
And the ambassador ends up getting killed, so they're like, well, let's just blow this shit up.
Yeah. And so then they're walking back. And they're slowly getting picked off by the Predator,
which is you don't see until 75%
of the way in. And so these big ass dudes are just
the Predator's making a bitch out of them.
Yeah, they're just fucking Jesse Ventura gets fucking iced.
He's the second one to get iced.
I know, and he's awesome.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, well, go watch that movie. It has.
You've not had a real childhood unless you've seen Predator.
Predator has some of the best lines
one-liners
ever of all time.
That's what action movies today are missing. They're missing
the one-liners. Well, all those movies by those old guys, by those old guys, like the Expendables, they have all those one-liners
because that's just fan service.
Yeah, that's just them being this is you guys are seeing this movie because.
You came to see Arnold Schwarzenegger, Bruce Willis, and Sylvester Stallone kick ass in the same scene.
The best one-liner, though, is
if it bleeds, we can kill it.
Oh, my God. It's so good.
It's such a cheesy fucking line, but it
encompasses...
It encompasses...
There we go. I can't talk today.
It's all right.
It encompasses the entire movie in those lines.
Yep. And Arnold Schwarzenegger's character.
Yeah, it's awesome. Speaking of Arnold, let's talk about another one of his movies real quick.
Yeah.
Conan.
Oh, the Barbarian.
Yeah, I like those movies.
Although
I think they're awesome.
He had another cheesy line in that. It's like the girl who's mending his wound. She goes, "I guess nothing hurts you," and he goes, "Only pain." I was like, really?
And the new remake that
with what's his name?
I don't know. Khal Drogo.
Yeah, Khal Drogo. Oh, what's his name? Jason Momoa.
That one wasn't as good.
Well, yeah, because it was a remake without Arnold Schwarzenegger.
It's a remake without Arnold Schwarzenegger, but it was a lot darker. And if I remember, Conan's supposed to be just badass and awesome.
Because it was also back in the 80s. In the 80s, it was
it's badass, and it was about being badass and awesome.
Mm-hmm. People just wanted to blow shit up.
Yeah, exactly. And why can't we have a movie like that now?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think the Marvel movies are coming as close to that as they can.
Yeah.
They're
feeding to my like nerdy side.
Nerdy side, and also to like, you know, they're PG-13. Like if we got an R-rated Marvel movie,
that'd be
then
intense.
it would be like the updated version of what an 80s classic action movie would be.
Right.
Because it would be fan service, one-liners, action, and just stuff that we love.
Speaking of 80s classics, RoboCop. RoboCop is...
my God.
They're so... You know that's an R-rated movie?
I had no idea.
It's an R-rated movie, and it's targeted to kids.
Because the parents are like, oh, let's go take the kids to see this robot cop. It's probably kid-friendly. No.
There's more blood in that movie than, like, any like, modern day...
Dude, the fucking Murphy gets his arms blasted off, his limbs blasted off in the first, like, 10 minutes of the movie.
Yeah. I mean, there's more blood in that movie than, like, anywhere else.
Goodbye, childhood.
I know.
But then they...
Like, seriously, it's hardcore. It's funny. You know, like the...
Dead or alive,
the
you're
80s
coming with
hair
me.
is ridiculous. I'm pretty sure that shit's coming back, too.
Yeah.
They're already... Like, all the girls are already wearing all the spandex from the 80s anyway. Next comes the hair.
Yeah, I hate the fact that they remade RoboCop and made it fucking PG-13.
And made it lame. They made it so lame.
I'm so glad I didn't go and pay money to see it because I was like, nope, I'm not going to see it.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on it either.
Like, the only, like, sequel/remake of one of the classic 80 movies that works is Predators.
Well, that's taking an idea from the 80s and converting it into
modern time.
It's converting it into like expanding upon it.
Yeah, well, I mean, but it was also very much of a remake in the sense of, you know, we had a similar cast of characters. Mm-hmm. Like they had the fucking Gatling gun dude.
Yeah. They had Morpheus too.
Yeah, they had Morpheus. They had a guy who was going to fight the Predator with a sword.
Mm-hmm.
They had...
It's the same as the Apache guy.
Yeah. They had, like, similar one-liners in that movie. And it was campy. Like, it didn't take itself too seriously. It had fun. But it was just a little bit more grittier.
I don't know. I didn't like it as much.
I thought it was the best sequel that it could get.
I thought it was better than AVP.
Or Predator 2.
Yeah, that one sucked, too.
Yeah.
I actually don't even recognize that as a movie.
Yeah, after... I think it would have done all right even without those movies like preceding it though, because like if you look at Predator 2, AVP, and then AVP 2, it like lowered the bar for the Predator like really low. Mm-hmm. So like Predators came along and it's like, all right, this is already better because there's no aliens in it.
I like the alien. Like I don't know.
The concept was cool, but the way they translated it to screen was...
They keep doing it. Like they just keep doing it. It's like being hit in the head, like. Over and over again. Like, we get it. They're aliens. We get it. They, like, eat... They incubate inside you. We get it.
The alien was scary back in the 70s and early 80s when it was, like... When it wasn't a digital effect. When it was like a man in a suit. It was terrifying.
Yeah.
But in the AVP movies, they were digital. I'm like, this shit's fake.
Sucked.
I'm like, they're not scary at all. But, yeah. Let's see, what other good classic 80 movies do we enjoy?
I just want to talk about, like, a fun Cliffhangers with Sylvester Stallone.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good man versus nature movie. Like, it's fun. It totally... There's no way that Sylvester Stallone went into that movie and was like, this is a serious drama. He's like, no, we're fucking climbing cliffs. Who cares?
Yeah.
You know?
We're going to make an action movie about climbing cliffs.
Yeah, it's fun. Like, who cares, guys?
Yeah. I would have to say, let's see, what else? Did you ever see True Lies?
I don't think so.
I think that is, like, by far one of my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger movies because it's an action comedy with him being a spy, but he's keeping it away, like, hidden from his wife.
Oh, yeah, I have seen that.
It's
so
funny.
It is pretty funny.
But it also, like, harkens back to, like, his old 80s movies because he's just Mr. Action throughout the entire movie.
What the hell happened, man? It was...
Hollywood decided to get way too serious after 9/11.
Really? Is that literally what happened?
It's literally what happened. Like, because like if you think of like movies preceding that, like fucking what was it? Independence Day. Such a cheesy movie, but such a classic. And it like here it is, defacing American monuments and like iconic American structures. But then after 9/11, which is a tragedy by the way, people like Hollywood was like, oh, we can't do that shit anymore. Until we had like Olympus Has Fallen.
That movie sucked. So did the exact same.
Yeah, the exact same movie.
The exact same movie without Russell Crowe, Gerard Butler. Sorry.
Yeah.
Why did I say Russell Crowe? I don't know. They kind of look similar, I guess.
Yeah, but like that was like those two were like the first movies in like a long time that have actively shown like, oh, we're defacing American property again.
I'm gonna have to look into it. I don't agree with that. But it makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And also Hollywood is taking itself way too seriously. Mm-hmm. Which is why you and I both love the Marvel movies, because they don't take themselves seriously.
I mean, they get it right.
They get it right, but they have fun doing it. Like, they're not DC or Warner Brothers who are like, oh, we're taking ourselves way too seriously. This has got to give some deep, meaningful message to our viewers.
Meh.
Yeah.
Just meh. Remember?
Just meh.
Do you remember when there was a time where you could just go to the movies and expect something awesome, like something fun?
Yeah, I get that. When I used to, back when I was a kid, I would get that when I saw Star Wars.
Yeah.
And then we grew up and discovered
Lord of the Rings. That was the last time.
I was so sad because I never saw Lord of the Rings in theaters. It was such a tragedy because when I was that age, I was afraid of it. Like, I saw the trailers and I was like, there's some scary shit in that. I kind of don't want to go see that.
I saw it with my grandmother, and she fell asleep for the first half of the movie and woke up when the crab eye, like, all the crows came.
Oh, yeah.
And she screamed. Because it was so loud. It went from, like, being like, whatever to
yeah. Because, like...
She's like, what the hell was that?
So, like, when they were like, oh, The Hobbit's coming out, I'm like, oh, my God, I'm going to go see this shit in theaters because I never got to see Lord of the Rings in theaters. But it's not the same.
It totally isn't.
It's totally not the same. I mean, this Desolation of Smaug was the closest they've gotten so far.
Not for me. And, like, I don't know. I read the book.
Dude,
and
the book was better than the movie.
And I'm trying to read the Silmarillion, which is really hard. I'm like almost halfway through, so 600 pages in maybe. But I don't know what he's doing. He's just taking so much spatial liberties.
Yeah, he's using artistic license to expand it to unnecessary ends.
But also, when they're walking, and they're like, I'm gonna walk, and they walk, and they go through a forest, and then they go through a field, and then they go through a mountain, and then they go back to a field, and then through a forest.
Jesus.
I'm like, holy shit, they made it to Mordor in fucking 10 seconds. They did a montage to Mordor. How is that even possible?
Remember, didn't I tell you about there's an actual hike, Lord of the Rings hike in New Zealand?
Yeah.
Where you hike from the Shobit to the place that Mordor is. And it's only 160 miles, so it's
oh, that's not really, really far.
Yeah. It takes maybe 6 days.
No way. 160 miles in 6 days?
That's what these people online did. They did in 6 days.
Well, they're awesome. They didn't sleep and are marathon runners.
Well, I think we lost topic, and we're also kind of running out of time, so...
But, sometimes it's fun to do that.
Yeah, we just go on and rant about stuff. But thanks.
Back to the true things.
Yeah,
back to the love. Anyway, I'm Matt Wyman.
I'm Matt Romeo. Thanks for watching.
And this was
Between Two Matts.
I got it that time.